I'm going to be completely straight with you. I had forgotten to watch the second half of the Raw episode until about 4 hours ago.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I finished that up literally just like an hour and a half ago.
That's good. At least it's done.
Yeah.
I watched the Smackdown, or the beginning of the Smackdown show, like the other day, I think it was, because I watched the Raw one. I'm like, yeah, I've already seen Smackdown. I'm like, wait a minute, no, I've only seen the match. I've only seen the 1 hour long Iron Man match, so I had to watch that.
All right. Well, do you have any hot clickbait news stories to bring up as of today?
Adam Cole for sure going to TNA.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 100% confirmed. Young Bucks coming back, going as Generation Me.
Generation Me again?
Yeah, they really missed that gimmick, so now they're coming back to it. Let's see what else. Kenny Omega going to WWE, of course.
Whoa!
I think we already talked about that one a while ago, but
Well, it was only like 99.99% confirmed then.
All right, well, now it's 115% confirmed.
115% confirmed?
115%. So, Meltzer reported it,
Okay.
CM Punk's coming back next time to Chicago.
Hot week for news.
I feel like that rumor happens every time they go to Chicago, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, I have something here. Jinder Mahal, the massive spike in ratings. The massive spike.
That's why they did it, man. That's why they did it, so they can get that massive spike in ratings.
I mean, it's being treated like a massive spike. It's 200,000 viewers more than the previous week, and it's still the third worst SmackDown of the year.
Hey, well, that's just such a big spike.
It's the biggest of spikes.
Everyone was like, Jinder Mahal. Oh my god.
What in the world happened there?
I have no idea. I was just talking.
No, you said, oh my god, and then all of a sudden the call ended.
I said, oh my god, Jinder Mahal, and then I heard nothing back.
This is what happens when we disrespect Maharaja, apparently.
The Maharaja's coming. I actually told my dad about that, and he was like, oh, that's cool, because he was talking to me about it, and he was like, yeah, I heard some Indian guy won. I was like, yeah, they do like the Maharaja stuff like that, and he was like, wait, what? What are you talking about? And I was like, yeah, nope, that's a thing in wrestling.
Did you hear about the fake news story regarding that?
No, I've not heard the fake news.
Okay, there were a few different people within the past couple of days that have recently been taking over the internet. You can expect to probably hear this on a few not very well researched dirt sheets within the next couple of days. McDonald's has just begun to sell Maharaja Max in India in celebration of Jinder Mahal's WWE Championship win.
Oh my god.
You see...
So basically like 90% of the dirt sheets.
Yeah, it'll be going on to some of those. You see, here's the thing. McDonald's, in truth, is selling Maharaja Max. However, it has been a product for years now.
Goodness.
Yeah. But the internet really wants to get behind Mahal. Well, like, it's a 50-50 war on the internet right now, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my goodness.
I've never seen things this divided.
Yeah, I mean, it's like half of it they love it, and then the other half is like, what? This is the worst thing to happen in the history of anything.
Yeah.
It's kind of polarizing, which is, I think, is good. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because we need that in wrestling for it to keep relevant.
Yeah. So I decided to do a quick test the other day. My father is a very, very casual fan. He only watches on occasion.
Uh-huh.
And I had decided to break the news to him that Jinder Mahal had won the title.
How did that go?
He laughed.
Did he know who he was?
He knew for one specific reason. Jinder Mahal is the lowest rated guy in WWE 2K14.
Oh my gosh.
So we would have Win is Jinder Mahal challenges like 2 years ago when I would play with him in that game.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, And now he's going to be a 90 overall.
Yeah.
How long is this title reigns going to last? Like, honestly. I give it till like either Money in the Bank or Battleground.
He's not holding it in SummerSlam.
No,
That's not a marquee name.
I think Orton is getting it back probably. They're just testing this out.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do with
Well,
Rusev.
I mean, have you heard the big rumor regarding it?
No.
Brian Alvarez says he's likely going to hold it until Royal Rumble.
I don't think so. I can't see.
At the very least, hold it till Royal Rumble, because their tour of India is after SummerSlam this year. So they want him to be champion going into that.
That actually makes sense.
Huh.
Unfortunately. I just don't see him winning it that long, especially with the Money in the Bank coming right around. I see them as a kind of a test. And even then, you don't even have to have him be the champion.
You could have him fight whoever the champion is in the main event of each of those tours.
And he would still be over.
Yeah.
Like have him face AJ or something, I don't know. Or maybe he won't even be over. Maybe they'll go there and he'll be booed. You know?
Yeah.
Which would be funny.
Side note I was not aware of. So the common thought is this was done to raise the network subscribers in India, as India has a massive wrestling fan base. This is all a known fact.
They have a lot of people in general.
Yeah. And they have a huge fan base in regards to that. So WWE's thought process is that this will get a lot of network subscribers, supposedly. Nobody really knows for sure. There is one issue with that I was not made aware of until yesterday. India gets every single WWE pay-per-view for free on television. Yes. All of the four major ones, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, are live. All of the other minor shows come with a 12-hour tape delay, as all of those shows would start at 5 in the morning due to the time zone difference.
Huh. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So,
although I guess
you get the benefit of live, but that's at 5 in the morning.
Yeah. Well, some people like to watch it live. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I think the idea was just so that they could get more people in India because they really want to target India. They just got like a new some corporate head of India or something like that in their company or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. It's a risk. They're trying it, and I can dig them for trying to do something different. But
I appreciate that too. I've posted a whole long thing about how I would have been fine with it. Like, I would have had him personally win at the pay-per-view after SummerSlam. Start building him up when you did.
Build him up.
Have him win after SummerSlam.
That was the problem, was that he just kind of won randomly.
Yeah.
And he was on Chris Jericho's podcast. I don't know if anyone listened to it, but I listened to the first 20 minutes of it. And one of the first things he says was that Vince told him one win can make people forget about everything you've done beforehand. And they've tried to do this before, and it just doesn't work. They tried to do it last year with Dolph Ziggler after he lost to Baron Corbin and pretty much to everyone for a while, and they had
and then they had his match with Ambrose at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and they had him win one match, and they would think that everyone would forget. But the thing is, nobody forgets. We have memories.
Yeah,
some of our brains are smart. I don't know.
Anyway, moving on from the modern day topic. Well, there is one more thing I want to bring up here. Dive.
The memes have been fantastic.
The dive debate.
It's hilarious, honestly. I've been laughing.
Right.
I've been laughing my ass off.
Will Ospreay has a dive T-shirt now?
Does he? That's funny.
Yeah.
I know that he's been that he called out Randy Orton in the Battle of Super Juniors.
Yeah.
To the match, which I don't know. I just find this whole thing funny. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
All right. So I do have all of my notes pulled up here. So do we want to go over the shows in chronological order, the order they were selected in, or do we just want to randomly go with Raw first, followed by SmackDown?
Let's go SmackDown.
All right, we're going with SmackDown 213.
First one. Yeah.
Yep. All right. This show is brought to you by Limp Bizkit, WrestleMania 19, the video game, and The Rock's new blockbuster, The Rundown.
I had no idea they made a WrestleMania 19 video game.
I have it. It's pretty good. I really like it. It's a lot like Day of Reckoning. If you've ever played Day of Reckoning, it's pretty much the same system.
I see. I was like, wait, they made a WrestleMania 19 video game? Oh my!
There's a WrestleMania 18 video game too. It's not as good.
Wow. There you go.
I have to wonder what like the casual crowd reaction to that is. They're like, "Where is the WrestleMania 1 through 17 video game?
Right.
Why is this the 18th game in this series?"
Well, hey, what's this now? That'd be 2K18 will be? Where's 2K1 through 17?
Yeah. Alright. So, we open up this season premiere of SmackDown.
Which I never get.
Yeah, with Vince McMahon welcoming the crowd for the first ever Iron Man match on broadcast television. He's really excited for it. However, Undertaker walks in to ruin Mr. McMahon's mood to tell him that he knows Mr. McMahon is the one who sent Brock Lesnar after him during his title match with Angle, and that he's not going to interrupt the title match as a result because he respects the title too much. But he never forgives, and he never forgets, and he walks away.
Good guy, Taker.
Yep. Cut to theme song.
That set up their Survivor Series match, which I completely forgot about happened.
Yep. Cut to theme song. This is probably my favorite SmackDown theme.
Yeah, I'm trying to... What other good ones are there?
Beautiful People is okay, I guess. I really like Beautiful People.
Oh, didn't they have a Enemy by Green Day? I remember that. Like 2009.
That was a couple years ago. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think that was like 2010.
Yeah, that was okay.
That theme was okay. But this is probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
And, so, the theme goes off, and we are opening up the show with Rey Mysterio versus Tajiri and Rhino.
Can we say that this is the best stage? Like,
with
ever?
The fist?
With the fist.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I miss it so much.
Yeah, they have that fist in a warehouse just sitting there, never being used.
Never being used. It's so sad.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I dig SmackDown stage now, but, like, this is just the best.
Yeah.
There's no competition.
Okay. So, Rey Mysterio's tag team partner is ready to face off with Tajiri in this match. And they tussle for a little bit.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah. Mysterio's tag team partner from Canada gets locked into the tarantula by Tajiri. Rey Mysterio tries to save the toothless man, but the referee stops him. This allows Rhino to get into the ring and hit the Wolverine with a spine buster.
I'm not going to say anything because I don't know who's wrestling because I don't know this person.
I'm running out of nicknames.
Oh. The Rabid.
Yeah. All right. Pegasus Kid is in trouble for a whole minute before he is able to counter Rhino into a back suplex and get the hot tag to Rey Mysterio. Mysterio is able to clean house, and though Tajiri attempts to stop Mysterio with his poison mist, Mysterio ducks, and he sprays the mist into Rhino's eyes instead. An unknown member of the Four Horsemen hits a German suplex on Tajiri, and while picking him up for another one, Rey hits a 619 on Tajiri. That was actually a really nice combo thing.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. This leads into another German suplex onto Tajiri. Rey Mysterio then hits a 619 on Rhino, followed by a leg drop for a 3 count, in a whopping 3 minutes 15 seconds.
The longest match in Smackdown history.
Yeah.
But it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah. That was ridiculously fast-paced, like I said. That was probably the shortest, wear down to hot tag stint ever.
Yeah.
Rhino hit, 2 moves before he got the tag?
I think so. But I just gotta say, man, I gotta look up, Rey Mysterio's tag partner, because I've never seen this guy in my life. He was pretty solid, for the couple minutes he was in there.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think we've seen him on a previous episode, too.
Have we? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Did he go by Wolverine or something?
Yeah.
The rabid one?
The rabid Pegasus Kid.
Rabid Pegasus Kid?
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting.
Right. So they pick up So Rey Mysterio and Chris Benoit... Oh, crap. Pick up the victory.
We're gonna have to end the show.
Yeah, show's over. We've done everything
Somebody's
already.
gonna sue us.
As long as we don't talk trash about Jinder again, nothing else should get cut off. So that match ends, and immediately we're ready for the next match: Tori Wilson and Nydia versus Shaniqua in a handicap match.
Is this a match we have to talk about?
We have to talk about everything on the show, including this all-time classic. I don't know why you're brushing over it.
This got more time than the first match, I think.
You want to make a bet on that?
No.
But I have timed every match on these two shows.
Okay, please tell me.
Okay. We'll get to that at the end of this match.
Alright.
Tori and Nydia attack Shaniqua during her entrance. Shaniqua was apparently being built up as this dominant female wrestler, yet the most prominent thing she ever did was manage the Basham brothers, who won the tag titles.
That's a big thing.
Yeah. So they attack Shaniqua during her entrance. They're kicking her down. She quickly gets back into it with a clothesline, and then a double clothesline, and then she slams Tori Wilson onto Nydia, and then she powerbombs Nydia and pins her for 3 in 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Really?
Yes.
This felt like so much longer than the other match.
It's only 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Holy crap. I was like, that first match went by quick, but this one was, I thought, that was longer. Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's when you know your match is bad.
95 seconds shorter than the tag match.
Oh my goodness gracious. Alright, well it was a match that happened on live television in 2003.
Yeah. I think it's very clear where the focus of this episode was.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Though, however, after the match, Shaniqua attacks Dawn Marie in her dress with a big boot, and then she rams her shoulder into the ring post before storming off. So Shaniqua, this dominant force out for the women's title, has taken out 3 women. She'd never win the women's title.
Well, the more you know.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
So basically she was brought up like Naya, except probably a lot better.
Yeah. Pretty much, well, her push got cut off real quick, and they pretty much just put her in the manager role. She was still managing the Basham brothers at this time. They even came out with her before she sent them away.
Huh.
Cut backstage to Stephanie McMahon talking with someone on the phone about how just amazing this main event is going to be, even if she doesn't like Brock Lesnar.
I loved Stephanie back then.
Yeah. Vince enters.
Now she can go fuck off.
Mr. McMahon enters with Brock Lesnar, well, not Brock Lesnar, The Big Show, and A-Train, saying that he is shocked Stephanie refused to quit when he said that if she didn't, she'd have to fight Brock Lesnar. Stephanie says she'll never quit. Mr. McMahon says he'll make her quit, even if he has to get rough like she did. This led to their match at No Mercy 2003.
Oh my god, I completely forgot that happened.
Their I Quit match between Mr. McMahon and Stephanie McMahon.
That was atrocious.
Oh.
I feel like if we did a bet, the loser would have to make a highlight of that match.
Mr.
Like
McMahon versus Stephanie McMahon?
Yes, like that would be the punishment.
Oh. I'm not sure I want to do that.
Exactly, that's the point.
It's not even because the match is bad. I've seen worse matches.
It's pretty bad.
Oh, no, I'm not saying it's good.
I hope not.
It's the best I Quit match of all time. What are you on about?
Of course. Yeah. What's another good I Quit match?
Rock and Mankind has nothing on it.
Yeah.
Cena Orton's got nothing on it. Chavo Guerrero and Rey Mysterio has nothing on it.
I forgot that was a match.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Miz Cena. That has nothing on it. That was actually whatever I Quit match. Batista Cena. Nothing on it.
Cena's had a lot.
He has. I think the best one is the Orton one.
Cena Rusev.
Yeah, Cena Rusev. Yeah, the best one's probably the Orton one.
Out of all the Cena ones?
Of all the Cena ones. All the Cena I Quits.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one. Anyways, back to the subject at hand.
We have a promo recapping the entire Lesnar-Kurt Angle feud up to this point, and hyping up that this is the rubber match, as they are one apiece in their previous two encounters.
It was a pretty good promo.
Yep. Cut backstage to Los Guerreros, who are getting a title match because Chavo asked for one.
God, if it was that easy in life.
Eddie says he's proud of Chavo for getting them the match, and Chavo lets Eddie know, "Hey, I got it for you, man, so that you can be United States Champion and Tag Team Champion at the same time." Eddie's happy with this and says he thinks he looks pretty good with gold now, and he'd look better with more gold. They decree that they are going to go out and win this for Grandma.
Do it for Grandma.
Yeah. Prior to this match starting, we see Chavo's big return to television the previous week, helping Eddie Guerrero defeat John Cena in a parking lot brawl.
They need to do more parking lot brawls. I mean, or at least like more backstage stuff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that stuff's always cool, and they never do it anymore.
Also, prior to this match, we cut to footage of Cena standing on a rooftop earlier that day, saying that next week he is going to come back, he's going to be victorious. To quote him exactly in his rap verse, "He'll be higher than hippies at 420 watching a Cheech and Chong movie."
I love this Cena.
Then he ends it on a really dark note, stating that he's going to leave all opposition dead, like Saddam Hussein's children.
He can rap.
Yeah.
Don't mess with my man Cena.
Then he does his word life hand gesture, and we cut back to Smackdown.
Would you think that if Cena came in now, that that gimmick would work?
They wouldn't let him go this far.
No. But I mean, even if the product was TP14, I don't even know. I don't think it would have gone over like it did back then. Or maybe it would have. I don't know.
Well, rap isn't super popular right now.
It's pretty popular.
I wouldn't say it's all that popular. It's not the same type of rap he did.
I mean, it still works. Rap's rap.
Alright. So we cut to Los Guerreros versus the world's greatest tag team. I just have to say, tag team-wise, you cannot help but look forward to something like this.
Right.
Yeah. World's greatest tag team, they don't get an entrance.
Unfortunately.
They're the tag team champions, and they don't get an entrance.
That's when you know you hit an all-time low. When you're the champions, you don't get an entrance.
So Eddie and Chavo both come out to a pretty loud reaction, but it's pretty clear, pretty fast, who the crowd cares about.
Yeah.
Nothing but Eddie Chance. I mean, Chavo just came back from injury, but nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Kind of like the story of Chavo's career.
Yep. So we get into this match, and I have to say there's some really great moves here. Like, I love Eddie Guerrero. He hits what I can only call a release Northern Lights suplex. I'm not sure what else to call it.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah. Eddie's awesome. I miss him.
Chavo, though, he isn't exactly slouching either. He hits a fantastic, like, multi-rotation head scissor during this match as well.
Yeah.
He spins around like 15 times. It's great.
Yeah. They had some killer matches back then, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
They both hit a plancha on each member of the World's Greatest Tag Team to the outside before we go to commercial. We cut back through commercial to see Eddie Guerrero truly embracing his face roll by choking Charlie Haas with his tag rope.
Man, they loved Eddie. This crowd was great.
Yeah.
This is a great crowd.
We have a really nice technical back and forth between Eddie Guerrero and Shelton Benjamin. Neither of them really able to hit a move on each other, and that ends with a double clothesline. Both men clotheslining each other and falling down. Well, we move on from there. World's Greatest Tag Team finally able to take control after Chavo gets tagged in, and he goes after Haas, when he gets kicked into the chest, allowing Shelton Benjamin to super kick Chavo's arm while the referee is distracted. Shelton Benjamin's not really going into the match at this time, but that super kick to the arm allows him and Haas to take control. They spend the next couple of minutes working on Chavo's arm. Chavo is able to fight back and hit a big forearm. But as he goes to make the hot tag, Haas grabs his leg, and this allows Benjamin to hit Chavo from behind to keep him from making the tag. The referee, of course, is saying, "Hey, Benjamin, you can't be in the ring," and he tries getting Benjamin out of the ring. While he's doing this, Chavo breaks free and makes the tag to Eddie, but since the referee never saw it, the referee does not allow Eddie in the ring. Forget the fact that earlier in the night, Rhino came in the ring without a tag and suddenly was just the legal man. That's perfectly okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Right, so Eddie's not allowed in the match. World's Greatest Tag Team beat down Chavo some more, and they go for a pop-up double-team maneuver of some sort, but as Haas throws Chavo into the air, Chavo goes into a dropkick position and dropkicks Shelton Benjamin. Or dropkicks Charlie Haas. Shelton Benjamin's the one who threw him in the air. Chavo finally gets the hot tag after a whole 4 or so minutes, and Eddie Guerrero cleans house. Eddie Guerrero's hitting the Three Amigos, but Charlie Haas is able to stop it with a German suplex. Very nice. Haas hits an inverted atomic drop on Eddie, and this is meant to set Eddie Guerrero up for the super kick. However, when Shelton Benjamin goes to throw the super kick, Eddie Guerrero ducks, and Shelton Benjamin super kicks Charlie Haas in the back of the head. Amazing spot. Eddie Guerrero does the arm drag head scissor spot. You'll see every high flyer doing tag matches on the independent scene nowadays. World's Greatest Tag Team have come to the conclusion that they're outmatched, and they both grab a steel chair to try to get disqualified.
For some reason.
Yeah. Well, you see, if you get disqualified, you keep the belts.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes some sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. So Shelton goes to hit Eddie Guerrero with the steel chair, but Chavo saves him by drop kicking Shelton's leg. This apparently injures Shelton Benjamin as he rolls out of the ring, grabbing his leg. Charlie Haas just looks at the situation and questions why this match is still going on before getting back in the ring before valiantly getting back in the ring only to be attacked by both Guerreros. The Guerreros seem to go for a double back body drop, but Haas severely under-rotates and lands on his neck.
That was scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty sure
Nasty.
he's not okay.
Yeah, he's not good.
Chavo Guerrero hits a suplex, and Eddie Guerrero hits a frog splash, and that gets them the 3. In 9 minutes and 51 seconds TV time.
It was a fine match.
So that's not including commercial break. Who's to say how much of the match took place off air?
Yeah, I mean, for what I saw, it was fine.
Yep.
It was cool.
It was a quality match. It wasn't quite as back and forth as it should have been. It was, in my opinion, it was essentially 75% Guerreros.
Yeah.
Just kind of steamrolling World's Greatest Tag Team.
Yeah, but the crowd liked it, and it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
And, yeah. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero would go on to hold the belts for about a month before losing them to the Basham brothers, who I brought up earlier. And shortly after that, Chavo Guerrero would turn on Eddie Guerrero due to him not getting any respect from the crowd.
Well, that was clearly evident tonight.
Yep. Cut backstage to everyone on the Smackdown roster watching their screens, ready to see Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar in an Iron Man match. Half of the roster is even placing bets on who is going to win.
I kind of like this, to be honest. I enjoy this because it made you even more excited for the main event, and it made the main event feel even more special than what it already was. So.
Absolutely. Everyone backstage is excited. Which just begs the question of, they're all watching on TV, could they not, just go to ringside? Or are they banned from ringside for the match?
They better be banned from ringside. I don't trust them motherfuckers to be outside.
Yeah, well. Fair enough. And this is it. We are now ready for our main event. It's really odd. We're only a half hour into this podcast, and we're already talking about the main event. I'm not used to this.
Well, hey, listen, we have another show. So,
yeah, no. This is what happens when you cover TV shows instead of pay-per-views, I guess.
Yeah. And one of them is an hour-long Iron Man match.
Yeah. All right. So this is it. It's time for Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar in the 60-minute Iron Man match with 15-second rest periods. 15
seconds.
Yeah.
How long are they normally?
Well, in John Cena, Randy Orton, they were a minute. In Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart, there weren't talks of there being any rest period. I do not believe there was a rest period during Triple H versus The Rock either.
Well, Sasha and Charlotte was the latest Iron Man match.
And there were no rest periods in that one, I don't recall. Or were they 30 seconds? I think there were 30 seconds.
I don't think there were any because there weren't any falls during the match, were there? Or maybe there were. But they went to OT, I know that. Like the Shawn and Bret, there weren't any because they didn't have any falls. So they never really thought about rest periods. Although you'd think that would be something. I don't know.
Anyway, I find it a little odd because I think if you should have a rest period, you should probably stop the clock when you have a rest period. But in this match, it's just and the rest period has started, and the clock is still going down.
I guess it makes the match faster.
And I don't know. Bell rings again.
Yeah.
And they're going on about how if it's a draw, they've been given permission by UPN to go extra time for their match. Do you think they were ever possibly even potentially given permission, or was this just a line to try to get people to try to convince the crowd, hey, it could be a draw?
Probably a lie. Yeah. Honestly, I think it's a lie, but it's a good lie. because then it makes them think that, hey, we're actually this could actually go to a draw.
Okay. So, Angle and Lesnar make their entrance. And as Lesnar and Angle are staring each other down, all the crowd can think to scream at Brock Lesnar is, "You tapped out." Because he tapped out to an ankle lock at SummerSlam.
Indeed he did.
Yep.
It's crazy that they had this match just on a random SmackDown.
Oh. Well, it was the season premiere. It's not a random SmackDown.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. But still, this is a match you think you'd save for, pay-per-view.
This would have been like your Survivor Series match, one would think.
Yeah. I mean, it's in my opinion, it's my favorite Iron Man match.
Yeah.
So I think you would.
Well, it's hard to blame you for that.
We'll get into it, but you would think that they would put this in a main event of a pay-per-view, because that's where this deserves.
Yep. Right. Prior to this match starting, Taz assures everyone watching at home that this match is going to be regarded as a classic. He's not wrong.
He was not wrong. No.
Alright, so the match starts as Kurt Angle is handing the referee his title belt to do the hold up in the air thing. And while Kurt Angle is handing his belt to the referee and his eyes are not on Brock Lesnar takes the time to attack Kurt Angle.
With the belt.
Well, not with the belt. He's just kicking him and punching him at this point. But he's doing it while Kurt's doing the honorable handing the title to the referee bit. So right off the bat, you're showing Lesnar as a massive jerk here.
He is a mean person.
Yep. And right away the clock starts without the bell ringing. The bell actually rings a few seconds after the clock starts.
Well, this whole match is messed up now.
Yep.
We have to restart the clock.
Kurt deserved another 6 seconds.
Yeah,
he could have won.
Kurt deserved another 6 seconds. He could have.
Yeah.
Tapped him out.
Yep. Lesnar just controls Angle, repeatedly hitting him until Kurt Angle is able to drop kick Lesnar in the leg. And after that, Kurt Angle takes complete control, forcibly making Lesnar retreat from the ring several times. Lesnar eventually gets incredibly frustrated with this, and he throws Kurt Angle into the ring post when Kurt finally chases after him. And after throwing Kurt into the ring post, Lesnar grabs a steel chair and hits him incredibly hard in the head.
Oh my gosh. You could say that again.
Yeah. And then he hits him a few more times while he's down. Should have been a few points for Angle instead of just one, but I guess it's in the 15-second rest period somehow.
15-second rest period. You can do whatever you want.
So this leads to Lesnar being down 0-1. During this 15-second rest period, after hitting Angle with the chair, Lesnar goes over to the announce table and grabs one of the water bottles off of it and just drinks it. Before getting back in the ring and hitting Kurt with an F5, which gets him a 3 count, tying the score at 1 apiece. Kurt's having a lot of trouble recovering from the chair shot to the head, in spite of having 2 15-second rest periods now.
God, he should be up by that 30 seconds.
Yeah, and this allows Brock Lesnar to lock Kurt Angle into an ankle lock. And Kurt Angle taps out. Brock Lesnar now leads 2-1 in the space of about 4 minutes since this chair shot. Or 3 minutes since the chair shot, give or take. Incredibly fast turnaround for Lesnar. We cut to commercial break, during which Brock Lesnar hits Kurt Angle with an angle slam, but Kurt Angle's able to kick out of it.
That was the one thing that, I wouldn't say kill this match, obviously, because I love it, but, the commercial breaks were really annoying.
So,
during this match.
Are you aware that there are cuts of this match without commercial breaks included?
Yeah, of course. But I mean, I watched this on the network again, and I was like, oh,
it's the broadcast version.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. But the only version I'm aware of with the full 60-minute one is on the 21st Century Superstars DVD. That one's got the full 60-minute match on it. Without the commercials. That's the only cut I currently know of without it.
And it has commentary?
Yeah, it's got commentary during the commercial breaks. It's really awkward, though. That's the version I used to make my highlight video of the match, was that 21st Century Superstars cut. It's really awkward, though, because there's commentary during the commercial breaks. And so they'll just be wrestling, and all of these things happen, and then all of a sudden, welcome back during commercial break.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one I did, mine was just from the network, so yeah, I had to use the commercial stuff.
Yeah.
Which is kind of awkward when you're watching a highlight video and all of a sudden you see during the break pop up.
Yeah. So Kurt Angle and Brock. So Kurt is still down 2-1 after the commercial break, and Lesnar is in complete control. But Kurt Angle is able to dodge Brock Lesnar going for a shoulder thrust, and Brock Lesnar goes shoulder first in the turnbuckle. And this gives Kurt the opening he needs to hit 3 German suplexes on Brock Lesnar. So this is an interesting little segue into something I want to talk about. Who do you think has the best German suplex in wrestling?
Huh. It's got to be Kurt.
Going with Kurt?
I feel like it's got to be Kurt.
All right.
Benoit had a good one. But like Kurt's was just on another, Kurt's great. I mean, Brock has a good one too, but Kurt's is something else.
All right. Kurt's my pick as well.
Yeah.
I was expecting a lot more discussion from this. I thought you would throw out some name I'd never heard of. I mean, Tozawa's got a really nice one.
Tozawa does has a good one.
Yep.
Let's go Simon Garfunkel. I don't know.
Simon Garfunkel?
Simon Garfunkel has a pretty good German.
Let me just check something here. I just want to make sure of something regarding Simon Garfunkel here. Simon and Garfunkel are an American rock group.
Yeah.
Made of
Hello,
2 people.
Darkness.
Yeah.
Hello, Darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Oh, yeah, but you never heard of Simon Garfunkel?
Just throwing German suplexes.
Just throwing German suplexes, dude.
Yeah. Well, no, the guy's going through the air. That song's just going through his head now.
Hello, Darkness, my old friend.
Yep.
And that's a song you
hits
come
the
down
mat,
to, too.
Gets picked back up again. I've come to talk to you again. Hits the mat.
Oh my God. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to be as a wrestler.
Okay.
It's perfect.
All right. So Kurt is now back in control, but Lesnar, from the ground, tosses Kurt Angle out of the ring in desperation. He then hits Kurt Angle with an F5 on the floor to get a 3rd point via countout. The score is now 3-1, Brock Lesnar.
I loved how they did that. How they had Brock winning by a lot of falls, and then have Kurt make the comeback.
Yeah.
I've always liked that in Ironman matches, and then at the last second try to get that last fall to tie it.
Yep. And then you could have them tie it, or what they did in this case. However you want to play it. Either way it works
what
out.
They did in this case, where it was the last second, happened the submission.
Yep.
That's what made this Ironman match perfect.
Yep. Angle's able to hit a few overhead belly-to-belly suplexes, but it's clear they're not enough, and Brock Lesnar regains control of the match again. He's just wearing Kurt down with strike after strike. Brock goes for a short arm clothesline, but Angle ducks it and hits an Angle slam for a 3 count, getting him 2 points to Brock Lesnar's 3. Lesnar now is begging for a timeout once the rest period ends because he hasn't quite recovered as of yet. Angle doesn't care about Brock's questioning of a timeout, and he hits him with suplex after suplex.
What, you think this is like an actual sport? Come on.
Yeah.
We ain't got no timeouts in wrestling.
Kurt Angle goes for the Angle Slam. Brock lands on his feet, picks Kurt up for the F5. Kurt slips off of Lesnar's shoulders, locks Lesnar into the ankle lock. Great sequence.
Yeah.
Lesnar rolls through the ankle lock, launching Kurt Angle forward. Angle's able to stop himself before he takes out the referee. Brock Lesnar does not stop himself before he takes out the referee. Referee gets laid out with a big clothesline. Following this
He sold that clothesline like, oh my god, that was awesome. When he just clothesline, isn't that Earl Hebner's son?
That was Brian Hebner, yes.
Oh, he sold that perfectly. That was great.
As soon as the referee goes down, Kurt Angle is able to hit another Angle Slam, but there's no referee to count it. Angle goes to wake the... Angle gets up, allowing Lesnar to hit him with a low blow before leaving the ring, grabbing the championship belt, and hitting Kurt Angle in the head with that as well.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar then picks up the referee with one hand, tosses him across the ring to wake him up, and pins Kurt Angle for 3.
He's a strong man.
Yeah.
You know what I find funny is that, like, now somebody hit someone with a championship belt, like, they kick out of too.
I mean, it's not like getting hit with a championship belt wasn't something you'd kick out of before as well.
Nah.
I can
know.
recall championship belt kicks outs a while back. But no, that's a thing that'll still happen. Like, championship belts will be used for near falls nowadays also.
No, yeah. I just found it funny, like, oh, he hit him with the belt. And that's it.
Yep. So Lesnar is up 4-2. And Angle now, he's desperate for points. He's pulling Lesnar out of the ring. He's throwing him into the ring steps. He's doing things Angle's never done before. He's diving off the top rope to the floor. He's hitting missile drop kicks. Desperate to get points and tie the score.
I thought that was great storytelling in this match.
Yep.
That was perfect.
Angle, following these 2 moves, goes for a moonsault, but Lesnar moves out of the way. This allows Lesnar to get up, but Angle, one last bit of desperation, goes for a roll-up, which Lesnar is able to kick out of before taking Kurt out again, and then just throwing him over his head in a belly-to-belly. Instead of following through on it, he just tosses him over his head.
That's just impressive. Like, my goodness gracious.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Lesnar goes for another one, but Kurt's able to counter it with an ankle lock. Again, though, Lesnar flips over and Angle goes flying out of the ring. He doesn't have the energy to stop himself at this point. Lesnar throws Kurt Angle into the steel steps. He throws him back into the ring. Lesnar's now just ready to use the steel steps as a weapon against Kurt. He's used everything else in the arena pretty much. So he's got the steel steps ready to use against Kurt Angle, but Kurt Angle drop kicks them into Lesnar's face as he tries getting them into the ring. Cut to commercial break.
What a terrible time for commercial.
Cut back to commercial break. Brock Lesnar has a 5th point.
Yeah. See, that was like the one bad thing about the commercials for this perfect match.
Yep, he earned this point with all things a superplex.
Right? That's what I thought. I'm like, what are you, Neville all of a sudden? Winning games, winning points, or winning falls off of superplexes?
Yeah, in matches like this, though, I understand in Iron Man matches getting points with what you typically wouldn't use to end a match, because at this point the match would have ended on a few occasions if this were a normal match.
Right.
At this point, you're not going to have the energy to kick out of normal moves like you normally would.
Which is kind of funny, like in the Bailey Sasha one, Like they hit their moves, their finishing moves early in the match, but they would, and it would be good for the 1, 2, 3. But towards the end of the match, where you think they would have the less amount of stamina, they were kicking out of their each other's finishers.
Well, that's for narrative tension. From a actual explanation, like in storytelling, their minds are okay. Like they get more desperate as time goes on, I would figure. So I mean, you now realize if I don't kick out now, I'm going to lose. Well, earlier on, it's not as set in that if you take this, you'll lose because you can come back.
Yeah, I don't know. It's logically.
Yeah. You know. Well, I mean, Cena kicked out of an RKO with a minute left in his Iron Man match with Orton, so.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's kind of sad.
Lesnar goes for an F5 now that he's up 5-2 with less than 20 minutes left. Lesnar goes for an F5 into the ring post, but Kurt Angle's able to get out of it, and he F5s Brock Lesnar's leg into the ring post instead. Brock Lesnar had been doing this to lower carders, to mid-carders and jobbers for months leading up to this. That's the way I put it out most famously on Zach Gowen.
And he did John Cena like a year earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. And the crowd pop for that huge. That was great.
Yeah. So he's finally gotten some payback for that.
Yeah.
Kurt throws him into the ring, and he locks him into a half Boston Crab, which he transitions into an ankle lock. But Lesnar's able to get to the ropes. Angle comes charging in, and Lesnar catches Kurt with an F5, but Kurt kicks out. You were talking about kicking out of finishers late in the match earlier.
Yeah.
There you go.
I completely forgot that happened in this match.
Yep.
Well, that's awkward.
Yep. Kurt does have the benefit. It took Brock Lesnar around 40 seconds to make the pin due to his hurt leg.
That's true.
Yep. Lesnar now goes up top, and Kurt Angle catches him with an overhead belly-to-belly off the top rope. And this is enough to get Kurt a 3 count, bringing his score up to 3 points. So it's now 3-5 with 10 minutes left. Angle goes
that was pretty cool with the belly-to-belly.
Yep.
I dug that. It was another one of those things like, that's interesting. That I got to fall, but it makes sense, even though he did kick out of F5. But it did take him 40 seconds, so.
Yep. Angle goes for the angle slam, but Lesnar shoves him off and hits a DDT. Lesnar at this point, he's not trying to get points really much anymore. He's just hitting German suplex after German suplex to buy himself time.
Yeah. He has a good German, too.
Yep. Lesnar goes for a 4th German suplex, but Kurt Angle is able to counter with 2 of his own. Angle goes for a 3rd, which Lesnar counters into an attempted German suplex, but as he lifts Kurt up, Kurt rolls through into a victory roll and transitions into an ankle lock from there. Lesnar crawls to rope after rope, but Kurt keeps pulling him back into the ring, and eventually Lesnar does tap out. It's now 4-5. That's probably one of my favorite sequences from this match, just Lesnar scrambling for all the ropes.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Where he's like, go on, no, and then, finally taps.
Kurt Angle immediately locks in the ankle lock again, but Brock Lesnar is able to roll through this time and gets Kurt caught up on the ropes. However, Brock, his leg is so hurt at this point, he can't even stand up. So he can't take advantage of Kurt being on the ropes. And Kurt just crawls back over and locks him into an STF. Brock elbows his way out of this STF and starts just trying to crawl away to save himself the remaining 3 minutes. As he's crawling away, Kurt catches him on the outside and locks him in ankle lock on the floor before throwing him back in the ring. We now only have 1 minute left in this match.
Tension is building.
Yep. Kurt Angle hits German suplex after German suplex on Brock Lesnar. But as he's going for a fourth German suplex, Brock Lesnar grabs the referee, pulls him in to keep him from going up for the suplex, and then he hits Kurt with one more low blow. Lesnar's all happy, he's all smiling, he's up 1 point, there's only 25 seconds left, there's nothing Angle could do, ankle lock. So Brock Lesnar is trapped in the ankle lock. Kurt Angle grapevines the ankle lock. We have about 15 seconds left. And time runs down. Time's running down. Brock Lesnar looks like he's about to tap, and right as his hand goes forward for the tap out motion, time runs out.
That was perfect.
Yep. Brock Lesnar wins 4-5, or 5-4, and he is your new WWE champion.
It's probably, I think, What Culture on their YouTube had a list of top 10 TV matches, and This was number 1, and I 100% agree. I think it's one of the best matches in history. I think it's the best Iron Man match, and it's the best TV match, yeah.
So Kurt Angle is in the ring on the verge of tears over having lost his title. Meanwhile, Lesnar is just sliding his way up the entrance ramp, laughing.
Just laughing his ass off.
Yeah. It's a great ending to one-match show, quite frankly, but what a match for the one-match show to be.
Yeah. Yep. And for a TV show.
Yep.
So, yeah. I mean, that match was the show.
Yep.
And it was fantastic.
Yep. Not really much else to bring up from that show. You can bring up Guerreros versus World's Greatest Tag Team, but it's nothing compared to that.
Of course.
Yeah. So now we cut to the television episode you had picked. Raw 697, 2 weeks after Unforgiven, 2006.
I need to preference this, why I picked this one, and I kind of did in the last episode, but I'll say it again. This, from my memory, serves me correct. This was the first ever wrestling show I ever watched.
Yep.
So yeah, I decided to pick it. It has a little special place in my heart. It's from my hometown. It was at my hometown where I lived at the time, and I remember during that day, my dad was like, "Oh yeah." We were driving around. I think we saw one of the WWE trucks. It's the only time they've ever been to Topeka, Kansas. So, yeah, they were like, he was like, or at least Raw was, any television. He was like, I really want to get tickets, so they sold out like instantly or whatever. I was like, whoa, what the hell is this? So I went home, and that night, me and my dad watched it, and I've fell in love ever since.
All right.
So yeah, that's that.
Okay. My first Raw could also be something we pull up on for this podcast later. However, I don't think mine is nearly as relevant or important. I can tell you right off the bat what my first ever match was and my thought process with that first ever match. But that'll be a story saved for whenever we get to that.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. So, the show opens up just right away with Move It to the Music. Best Raw theme.
Yeah, speaking of best SmackDown themes, this is the best Raw theme.
Yeah.
I miss this intro.
Yeah. Odd piece of information right off the bat. As soon as the theme's over and they're showing off the steel cage, going, Edge and John Cena are going to have a cage match tonight, I can't help but notice one fan with a "Suck Me" sign.
You noticed that too. My God, and can we talk about the signs?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. There are so many signs.
Yeah.
Like now, there's signs, but there's not as much. Back then, oh my goodness, that was the thing to do, was to bring signs.
Yep.
No, and that building can only fit about 7,000 max. So there's like 5,000 people, probably or so, or maybe 7, because they used to fit. They didn't have the bigger stage then, but just crammed, and they all had signs holding it up. Like, I would be so pissed.
Yeah. You're not gonna see anything.
No, not at all.
Oh.
Thankfully, he had a big jumbotron that they actually played the replay on.
Yep.
Unlike now, they just show Raw on it.
Oh, they just show Raw on the. Oh, they just show the logo on the jumbotron.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, like, they show it unless they'll show the actual replay of it going on, unless, like, you know how they cut to the Titantron, like the camera that's pointing towards the Titantron. They'll show it, but unless they have that camera on, they'll take it off for some reason, because I guess they don't want it there in shot. I don't know. It's weird what they do, man. I don't know.
All right. So, now that we've discussed thoroughly the what is displayed on the very large screen at the top of the entrance ramp, this show starts with a recap of DX versus the McMahons and Big Show from Unforgiven, which we had covered previously. And
We did.
Triple H and Shawn are out to celebrate that match. They go through their usual routine of Triple H asking if everybody's ready. But he adds Mr. McMahon to the list of who this is for, as in his words, sometimes you have to learn to eat crap and like the taste of it. Jonathan Coachman comes out, interrupting Triple H and Shawn because they don't run Raw. He does. So, he declares that DX will be in a Texas Tornado match with 6 other men. These 6 other men are Lance Cade, Trevor Murdoch, the Highlanders, and Viscera and Charlie Haas.
Man. The tag team division,
one of these teams was the number 1 contender for the tag team championships at Unforgiven.
Kind of sad.
Yeah.
Kind of sad. Yeah, the tag team division back then was, I mean, they had Rated RKO at the time, but
Rated RKO hadn't come around yet.
No, because they at least a month later they were.
Yeah, it wasn't quite yet.
Okay, yeah, no, you're right, yeah. Because the month afterwards they had that match for the tag team titles, I think it was.
Yeah.
At Cyber Sunday, where Bischoff is the champ or the ref.
So, none of these teams get a proper entrance. They're all just the conglomerate of 6 people walking to the ring. DX, they take out the first 2 teams with ease. Eventually, the numbers game catches up to them, and they're getting beat down by all these guys until Viscera charges at Triple H in the corner, but Triple H moves out of the way, and Viscera crushes Charlie Haas, who looks a lot different than he did in Smackdown.
Yeah.
I did not recognize him.
No. I didn't recognize him either. I'm like, that's Charlie Haas? What?
Yeah.
The hell? I thought it was, I don't even know who I thought it was. I was like, who the hell is this guy?
After this happens, Triple H throws Murdoch out of the ring, Shawn Michaels throws Lance Cade out of the ring, and then both of them double clothesline Viscera. Lance Cade and the Highlanders get back in the ring, but one of the Highlanders accidentally hits Lance Cade, and they start fighting, and they take each other out of the ring. DX takes this opportunity to hit a double DDT on Viscera. Charlie Haas comes charging in. He gets a spine buster from Triple H, an elbow drop from Shawn Michaels, a sweet chin music, and a pedigree, which gets DX the victory in 2 minutes and 56 seconds.
This was a squash match with like 3 other tag teams.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. That's kind of how Triple H was back then.
Yep.
Especially this time. This is when kind of like the burying people really began, because that's all he really did. Besides like rated RKO. Everyone else, he kind of was just like, yeah, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to squash you this week.
With this, they had tied Taz's undefeated streak on this show before, but Triple H and Shawn Michaels are now tied at 3-0 with the highest undefeated streak on this podcast.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, so they are the co-champions right now. So you can take that however you want, I guess.
You could, yeah.
Yep.
Either way.
So, here's a question. How do we work with the championship? Do we just have it be whoever's undefeated the longest? Or do we have it set where if one of them gets beat on one of the shows, whoever beats them?
I think whoever beats them.
Whoever beats them
first. Whoever beats them first.
Okay.
That works for me.
All right.
Or
but
I think
they're co-champions right now.
I think what it should be is whoever is undefeated last is the one that is the champion.
Is just the champion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
All right. So DX wins against the number one contenders to the tag team championships and two other tag teams, one of which was very prominent, because I know Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch.
Yeah, so do I.
They're a fairly prominent tag team.
But who were the tag team champions? Why am I for...
Yeah.
Who were the tag team champions at the time?
Spirit Squad.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about them.
Yep.
They hadn't gotten rid of them yet.
Yep. Jonathan Coachman is furious that DX won because they weren't supposed to win.
They faced 6 people.
Yeah. So he declared he's letting DX know that they may have won the match, but since he runs the show, he'll win the war. Triple H says, well, if it's all about you running the show, we'll just throw you out of the building and we'll run the show. Jonathan Coachman, in response to this, runs away and DX gives chase. Cut to commercial. Cut back from commercial, and it's time for the Intercontinental Championship match. Jeff Hardy versus Johnny Nitro. Rematch from Unforgiven.
Yeah, and they faced multiple times after this.
Yep. And this is our first consistent feud on this podcast as well. Yeah. Where it's ever actually stuck together.
It is.
Yep.
And I think it's going to continue.
Yep. So Johnny Nitro, despite being Intercontinental Champion, comes out first.
Which now is kind of like a normal thing.
Yeah. Nobody makes mention of it on the show either. Ross doesn't bring it up, which I think he would. But he doesn't. What Ross does bring up is that he heard Melina likes having 3-way sex.
When I heard him say that, I was like, wait, what the fuck is this? I was so baffled by what the fuck he just said. That was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Jerry Lawler tries to get him to say it again.
That was so funny, but like not in a good way at all.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Ross, and while Lawler's just trying to get Ross to say it again, Ross does say that Nitro isn't going to be making any friends with PETA due to his fur coat.
When did Jeff Hardy come back from this? Was this before Unforgiven or after?
This was after Unforgiven. This is 2 weeks after Unforgiven.
No. But I mean, like when Jeff Hardy came back to WWE after leaving for like not even a year, I think.
It was summer of 2006, so shortly before Unforgiven.
I completely forgot that this wasn't long after he returned.
Yeah. So Jeff Hardy comes out. Crowd really likes Jeff Hardy. Pretty
as
much
they normally do.
some things never change.
Yeah.
Yep. So Nitro takes control with a couple of European uppercuts, but Jeff Hardy is able to come back, hits a sling blade, followed by what I've just dubbed the really should be a DQ leg drop.
Right? I've always thought that. Like, isn't that a DQ? Like, you said him running his nuts.
Yeah. Jeff Hardy does a head scissor out of the corner. And he goes for the twist of fate right off the bat, but Nitro pushes him away and retreats to the outside. Jeff Hardy, after Nitro goes to the outside, goes for a plancha, but when Nitro runs out of the way, Hardy lands on the apron and instead turns it into a jump into a clothesline off the apron.
That was cool.
Cut to commercial.
Another one.
Yeah. Come back from commercial. Johnny Nitro is in control of the match.
It's funny how they do that.
Yeah. Because during the break, Jeff Hardy had gone for his corner dropkick where he jumps up in the air and then falls into the dropkick. But Nitro had shoved him away with a kick mid dropkick. And that was enough to debilitate Jeff Hardy enough for Nitro to take control. Nitro Irish whips Jeff Hardy into the corner, and Jeff tries to go for the Whisper in the Wind to counter it, but Nitro moves out of the way. Nitro then dropkicks Hardy into the ring post. I really like this. It could have looked better, but I really like the spot idea as a whole.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. To which Melina screams. I didn't hate Melina when I started watching wrestling. Doing this podcast has made me hate Melina.
I'm literally the exact same way.
Yeah.
I did not hate her at first, but I've grown to hate her like you.
Yeah. Nitro holds Hardy up on his shoulders and hits him with a backbreaker. I really like that form of a backbreaker, but I have no idea what it's called.
I don't know either.
Yeah. And then he grabs Jeff Hardy in the classic nobody taps out to this, but everyone does this submission anyway, bow and arrow, where you pull their arms back and you stick their knee into their back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody taps out of that anymore.
Yeah.
Or I don't think anyone even has.
Yeah.
Someone has to.
Well, probably in the 50s.
Probably.
Yeah.
Hell, people went off of power slams in the 50s.
People won off of missed drop kicks in the 50s. I've seen some matches, like a guy will miss a drop kick, and it's this big devastating thing when he misses, and he'll get pinned.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Like even in the 50s, how would that be acceptable?
Yeah.
Oh no, I missed a drop kick and I landed on my face. I'm done.
Yeah. Like a drop kick was a finishing move in the 50s.
It's incredible.
Yeah. A suplex was a finishing move in the 50s.
Any move was a finishing move in the 50s.
Yeah. So, Jeff Hardy fights his way out of the bow and arrow with a mule kick. Where you do a front flip and kick your opponent in the face while doing one. So mule kick.
Kind of like what Tyler Bate does.
Tyler Bate does. I would say more. But the opponent is behind you when you do it is a mule kick. If you're rolling forward, it's been officially called the rolling Liger kick out of tribute to Jushin Liger.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy, after pulling off a mule kick, ducks a clothesline from Nitro, hitting the Whisper in the Wind. Melina realizes Nitro is in trouble and pulls him out of the ring to save him, but Jeff Hardy just immediately baseball slide drop kicks him. Hardy then goes outside and does my favorite spot of his that nobody seems to bring up, where he runs on the barricade and jumps off of it.
Yeah, that's always awesome.
That's my favorite spot of it. And he does that spot, and he takes out both of them.
Yeah.
Hardy throws Nitro back into the ring, but Nitro hits him with an elbow drop to keep himself in control. Nitro goes up top to hit Jeff Hardy with something off the top rope, but Hardy catches him and hits a back body drop off the top rope. This gives him an opening to hit a Swanton Bomb for the 3 count and become the new Intercontinental Champion in 7 minutes 13 seconds of TV time.
That was surprising to me. I didn't think he would win it on a Raw.
Yeah.
But he won it.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. It was a fine match.
Yep. Crowd, who was loud when Hardy came out, is even louder for Hardy winning.
Gotta love my hometown.
Yep. And a nice storytelling bit I like, there is a replay of Melina looking away as Jeff Hardy hits the Swanton Bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cut to a recap of Edge cashing in the Money in the Bank on John Cena.
To build up hey, we have another. Both of our shows have big main event matches that they're building up to throughout the whole show.
Yeah.
And they're treating like big things. So hey, we both picked good stuff.
Yep. Absolutely. So this recap happened. Cut to DX at Jonathan Coachman's office, knocking on the door, claiming to be room service. Coachman isn't stupid, and he recognizes Triple H's voice. Triple H then asks what Coachman is doing in there that he wouldn't want the world to see. And then says, "Oh wait, I know what you're doing. You'll go blind if you keep doing that. Sean wants you to know it's a sin." The going blind thing is a reference to some ads from the 1930s, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, could we talk about the WWE magazine? How they brought that up?
WWE magazine.
Do they still do that?
The magazine?
Yeah.
They have specialty issues, but as a whole, the series was canceled a couple years ago. But for Mania and SummerSlam, they have specialty issues.
Oh, I miss those.
Yeah.
I used to get those all the time as a kid, and they're like the cool thing to get. But it's sad they're gone. I mean, they weren't really anything particularly good. I mean, now you don't even need a magazine; you have the freaking internet for everything. So.
Right. So following the Sean says it's a sin punchline, we go back to commercial break. Cut back for an ad for next week's special 3-hour Raw.
I was gonna say, back then it was a specialty.
Yeah.
Now it's a regular thing.
Yeah. Thank the world for that. Get an extra hour of Raw every week.
Yay! I remember when
just a special occasion.
I remember those Raws. I was always excited for them. I was like, yeah, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Now it's like go to.
Well, because you knew it was a big deal.
Yeah, you knew it was a big deal. It was a big show. I mean, then they had they promoted everyone from ECW, Smackdown, God ECW, but yeah, it's just kind of sad. Anyways.
Following this ad, cut backstage to Maria interviewing Jeff Hardy following his win. I don't like her voice.
Terrible.
It's very obvious she's reading off of something. Or reciting off of something.
And it's not like she was... I don't think it was her fault. I think they made her say it like that. In that way too.
Jeff Hardy! Let's look at what happened when you won the title!
Oh my god.
Cut back to a recap of Jeff Hardy winning the title less than 10 minutes ago.
That was so awkward. Because if you listen to her talk, in interviews, she's normal. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were trying to do with her. Anyways, but this was terrible.
Yeah.
This whole segment, this whole interview segment, the rest of it. You could talk about it, but I don't want to.
Okay. Following the recap, Jeff Hardy says that he understands now that he's won the belt, everyone's going to be looking to take it from him. Everyone's going to be looking to strip him of the title belt. Maria quickly responds, "Strip? I know what you mean by that." You see, next week on ECW, I'll be playing a game of extreme strip poker.
I'm not going to say anything.
All right.
This was the bad part of the women in 2006 and how they treated them.
Yep. Jeff Hardy lets her know that he has to see that because he really likes poker. Right. Melina interrupts Jeff Hardy, saying that the only thing he'll be seeing is Johnny Nitro winning back the Intercontinental Championship, before screaming again. Jeff Hardy gets probably the loudest reaction of the night by covering her mouth.
I don't like to hear women speak.
Cut back to Jonathan Coachman in his office, talking, apparently, to Vince McMahon over the phone. He's saying, "Look, I can't run Raw like you can. I'm my own guy. DX is out there waiting for me." And he then goes on to say, "Yes, I'll do anything you say," before proceeding to go to the door and open it, only for DX to no longer be there. Coachman nervously leaves his office and slowly walks down the hall, checking every door he comes across to make sure they can't come out of there. As he's walking down the hall, everything seems fine, until he suddenly stops in fear, as Triple H is about 15 feet in front of him. Don't know how he didn't see Triple H before, but he has now. Jonathan Coachman turns around to go back, except Shawn Michaels is behind him with a horror movie-esque grin. You could seriously just take Shawn Michaels' face there, slap it onto a horror movie poster.
Yeah, you could, really.
Yeah. Suddenly, Western music begins to play. You know, the good old bwomp, bwomp, bwomp. And as the camera pans out, there is a tumbleweed on the ground in front of Jonathan Coachman.
Oh, that was fantastic. I laughed.
He kicks it out of the way before running straight into the camera, only to reveal that there is a door behind the cameraman, the women's locker room. DX approached the women's locker room, ready to follow, but Shawn doesn't want to do it. Because it's the women's locker room. Triple H reassures him they need to, and Shawn covers his face as they enter. The women tell DX where Jonathan Coachman ran off to, and Shawn quickly goes off in pursuit. Triple H starts to, but then quickly stops and begins to talk with the women's locker room. Shawn comes back to grab him after about 20 seconds. Yeah.
Even though he just had a kid and they just had a storyline with like Vince and talking about he had a kid with his daughter.
Yeah.
You know.
Shawn comes back and grabs him and pulls him out so they can both go looking for Jonathan Coachman again. Cut back to Jonathan Coachman as he locks himself into a new room to try to escape DX, only for music to begin to play, and as Jonathan Coachman turns around, he is confronted by Big Dick Johnson.
My man, Big Dick Johnson.
Yep.
Oh my god, this is my favorite man in the whole universe.
Jonathan Coachman shoves Big Dick Johnson out of the way before Big Dick Johnson can continue to engage in party time.
Yes, people, this was an actual name in WWE in 2006.
Yep. Jonathan Coachman takes off down the hall one more time, only to trip over a mop bucket. And I say trip because it's very obvious he falls on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coachman starts trying to pick himself up, only for DX to be standing above him. He slowly backs away, out the door of the arena, trying to get away. They both fake lunge at him, and he turns around to run, and runs face first into the back of a semi-truck. Triple H then picks up Jonathan Coachman and throws him into a trash bin, before wheeling over the trash bin to the garbage man, asking if he is collecting the garbage. The garbage man affirms that he is, and they hand him the trash bin, and tell him to go take out this trash. The garbage man replies, okay, and walks off with the garbage bin.
When do you think he realized that there was a man in this bin?
Probably when he's dumping it out.
I'd hope so.
Yeah. I mean, Jonathan Coachman came back. I can tell you from experience, I used to work as a maintenance person in a grocery store. My job was to get all the garbage in the building. Those things can get pretty heavy.
Yeah, I mean,
so the weight wouldn't have been too surprising.
I take trash at my work too, man. I mean, but I don't have a bin. I just carry the bags. So,
you just carry all the bags?
Pretty much. I mean, trash is right there.
Well, the building was really large. We had like 40 trash cans.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and then maybe some more in the back. Yeah. I mean, it's a restaurant, so
Oh, a restaurant?
It's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not bad. Yeah. Anyways, this one, but this segment was good. I actually really enjoyed this segment. It got me laugh. I actually laughed when I saw Big Dick Johnson. I was like, "Oh my goodness, my man! I forgot about you, Big Dick."
I wasn't too big of a fan of this segment, to be honest with you.
Really, I enjoyed this. It made me laugh. It wasn't. I don't know. I dig the Western stuff. I don't know. It was kind of corny, and that's what I kind of digged about it. So I don't know.
Well, no, I definitely appreciate the corniness of it. I just felt the whole thing was a little forced, and I feel it would have been better cut up into multiple parts rather than one long sequence.
Yeah, I think I can see that.
Yeah. Cut to a recap of John Cena versus Edge at the Royal Rumble.
Why would they have to show this?
Because it's a part of the build-up to the incredible cage match where everything ends.
Showing that just made me really mad, honestly.
The Royal Rumble replay?
Yes.
Why is that?
Edge wins the title for the first time. And then he loses it a month later.
3 weeks.
Doesn't even get like a good run with it. 3 weeks, not even a month.
Yeah.
3 weeks later. Granted, like his match at Mania was awesome, so it kind of worked out, and so was Cena's. So it kind of worked out storyline wise, but like, I don't know, man. I mean, it all worked out in the end, obviously, but you would think that you'd give him a longer title reign.
You would think so.
And Edge never really had, like, I'm thinking of all of his world titles. I don't think he ever held the title, like, longer than, like, 3 months.
Like, definitively?
3 months? Yeah. I think 3 months might be, like, the longest he's ever held the title.
Yeah, I'm trying to think here.
3 or 4 months. He's always been, like, not a transition champion, but, like, he's never had the title long.
I see here.
It was never like, oh, let's give the title to this guy to see how he does for 6 months. It was just like, let's give it to him for 3 months, and let's see where things go.
His big reign was probably supposed to be in 2007 when he cashed in on Undertaker. But he got injured only a month into that.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of months in. He retained it against Batista a couple times, but he got injured right after that.
And then his next title reign after that was he won at Armageddon and lost it at Mania, so that's like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And I think that might be like the longest.
Then he won it again from Undertaker, but then CM Punk cashed in on him. I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, the 2007 to 2008 run was probably his longest one.
Yeah.
You can maybe argue his 2010 to 2011 run, because he held it through Mania.
Yeah.
He didn't vacate it until
I think,
Tuesday.
Yeah. Kind of sad that he won it, like he won the title, and then like he just got, because I mean he probably would have held that title up until Mania, and would have been the big heel, and then finally lose it to Taker.
And that would have been the full circle story from like 2007 to 2008.
Yeah.
That would have been like 10 months.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, I can see that.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I mean they still did the story anyways, and it was still a good story, and hell, the story went even longer than that. Oh, yeah. They had like a lot of pay-per-view matches, dude, like a lot of pay-per-view matches, but they all felt like new and fresh matches. Anyways, let's move on this show.
Now that we've finished discussing the 1 minute recap of Cena versus Edge for 7 minutes.
That's what we do here.
Yeah. We cut to the Spirit Squad backstage, being really excited, as always, because they are the Spirit Squad. DX walks in to let them know that they're now running the show tonight, and that the Vice President of Talent Relations, John Laurinaitis, has recently enforced a new dress code, which they're currently in violation of. Spirit Squad asks what will happen if they don't comply with the new dress code. Triple H holds up his sledgehammer, saying he doesn't know what will happen if they don't comply. Spirit Squad asks to see the new uniforms they'll have to wear. Cut to commercial break.
I feel like Triple H does know what would happen.
Are you sure?
If they didn't comply. I feel like he might be lying to us.
I'm not so sure.
Just a thought, Just a thought.
Cut to Umaga versus Snitsky. Snitsky doesn't get an entrance.
No. And Snitsky was like a known name at the time, and they just squashed him in like a minute. Oh my goodness. I was like, wow. I mean, people, Snitsky kicked a baby.
It wasn't his fault.
Come on. No. But like, he kicked a baby. You gotta give the man more props than that.
I mean, he sort of came back a little later, and then he faded out again. Sort of.
Poor Snitsky.
Yeah.
The highlight of his career is he kicked a baby.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. That deserves a main event push right there.
Snitsky tries to knock Umaga down with a few clotheslines, but he doesn't do it. He finally does knock Umaga down with a leaping shoulder block, similar to John Cena's. Armando Estrada immediately gets up on the apron. This distracts Snitsky and allows Umaga to hit a pop-up Samoan drop, followed by his charging hip attack in the corner, followed by a Samoan spike, which allows Umaga to pick up the win in 1 minute and 9 seconds.
Armando Alejandro I can't do that part, but Estrada. I love that man.
Yeah.
I remember every time he came out, I would always do his thing. And Umaga was still undefeated at this point, because
it was a double count out with Kane and Unforgiven.
Yeah, and then I think he faced Triple H at the next pay-per-view, or no, that was a year later.
Yeah, it was a year later.
But he was still doing squash matches, and he debuted them Raw after WrestleMania, so.
Yep.
Interesting. Anyways, it was whatever. Let's move on to the next thing.
Cut backstage. Todd Grisham is ready to interview Randy Orton. I miss Todd Grisham. He wasn't the best, but I like him as like the statistical commentator guy.
Yeah.
He's believable in the role.
Yeah. No. It's Interesting.
Yeah.
He's gone. I kind of miss Coach too, but not really.
Yeah.
Coach was whatever.
Jonathan Coachman just says, Randy Orton, you're about to face Carlito in a rematch from Unforgiven. Randy Orton says he's tired of Carlito going around judging everyone who's cool and who's not cool, because Carlito himself isn't cool. Randy Orton is cool. Beating Carlito at Unforgiven is cool. Beating Carlito again is cool. The very definition of cool is RKO, which I don't think you'll find in any dictionary, so I think Orton's making that one up.
I think he is making that one up.
Yeah.
Are we sure about that?
It's a really short definition. I can Google the definition of cool here to determine if Randy Orton is lying or not.
Well, you know what? Let's just, for the sake of time, let's not do that.
It's not that Google the definition of cool. Because it's too late and I've already done it. And the definition is of or at a fairly low temperature.
Well, I don't know. Randy Orton might be at a low temperature. You don't know that.
He is a snake. He is cold-blooded. He is cool.
Yes, exactly. He is cool.
Yeah. So we are now ready for Randy Orton versus Carlito. For whatever reason, as Randy Orton is making his entrance, JR feels the need to plug the Marine.
Didn't the Marine come out for a while after this? At this point?
I thought so, but JR is going on about how the Marine is a family-friendly movie.
That's debatable.
Well, I do have the rating for the Marine pulled up here, and I'll have you know that the Marine is rated PG-13.
That is not family friendly.
And it came out in 2006, so this would have been either for its theatrical run, yes, it had a theatrical run, or its went DVD release.
I remember watching on DVD.
You watched The Marine?
Yeah. At the time, I was a huge Cena fan, and I wanted to watch it. And me and my dad and my brother watched it.
I've never seen The Marine. I saw 12 rounds.
It's not. I did see 12 rounds. Okay, funny story about 12 rounds. So, me and my dad went to go see that in the theater, because again, I was still a Cena fan at this time. And my brother and my mom went to go see, I think it was Monsters vs. Aliens. I think that's what it was.
Well, you both saw bad
That
movies.
movie? Yeah, we both saw bad movies. But the thing was, it was my brother's birthday, and right before we just went out to go eat. And we're sitting in the theater. My dad goes, "Crap, we gotta go." I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "Your brother just threw up in the theater." He threw up all over the theater on people. I think it was. I'm not sure, but he threw up, and we had to go. So we spent like $30, whatever, on tickets, and to not see a movie. So we went home, and then I think we saw it like a couple days later. But,
Okay.
yeah. Ever since then, my brother has not had cake. And that was like in 2007.
Alright.
He's a terrible person.
Well, maybe he shouldn't
Anyways,
be eating cake. He should be eating apples like Carlito, who is Randy Orton's opponent in this match.
Well, if anyone going against Randy Orton should be eating apples.
Yep.
But
Carlito throws his apple into the crowd.
Disgusting, man.
Yeah.
After he's taking a bite.
Yeah.
But the only reason why I said this is because every time I think of 12 rounds, I think of throw up. So
Great.
That's
well, it's symbolic.
There you go.
It's connected. So.
It's connected. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the match starts, and Randy Orton, Carlito, they lock up for a little bit. But when Carlito gives Randy Orton a break in the corner, because Carlito's a good guy in this match, which I always find odd. I've always imagined Carlito as a bad guy. I've never really... I was never really
His character
watching
does
during his
not fit.
face run, so it's weird to watch him as a face because he's a lot more famous as a heel.
It's funny. Carlito has a permanent mark in my mind. I don't know what segment it was, but remember how he had the basically like the highlight reel, but it was like something Cabana, where he
Yeah.
had like the
Cool
NXL on
Cabana.
that. Yeah, the Cool Cabana. He did one episode. He did one with Triple H. Just as after Triple H came back in 2007 from his injury, and I don't know what the context of this was, but Triple H says something, and he goes, "Hey, that's the way he says it. He's like, hey, that's illegal in Puerto Rico or something like that." So now, anytime somebody says, "Hey, that's illegal," I finish the sentence in Puerto Rico.
Really?
So, yes,
Carlito
because
has
it was
given you
marked in my
a speech pattern.
Yes, Carlito has done this to me because I remember watching it with my friend. We were like, we thought that was so funny. That's illegal in Puerto Rico. So now, anytime somebody says, "Hey, that's illegal," I finish it in I say in Puerto Rico. So Carlito, fuck you. That's all.
Okay. Right.
I felt like sharing that.
All right. Well, that's an interesting story.
Thank you.
So Randy Orton, when Carlito gives him the clean break, kicks Carlito in the knee and throws him shoulder first into the turnbuckle, and then he does it again. Then he starts wrenching Carlito's arm, and then he hits a knee drop on Carlito's arm. Orton taunts following this knee drop, which allows Carlito to hit a Hurricane Rana, but Randy Orton gets up first and hits a DDT on Carlito's arm. This match is pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
Orton goes to Irish whip Carlito, who bounces off the ropes into a springboard elbow. He follows that up with a clothesline, followed by a springboard senton and a springboard moonsault. But Randy Orton kicks out at 2 after all of Carlito's 4 moves. Shocking. Carlito goes for a springboard crossbody, but Randy Orton rolls through the crossbody and grabs Carlito's tights to get the 3 count in 4 minutes and 4 seconds.
Yeah.
What did you think of this match?
It was fine. I mean, it was whatever. I mean, the fact that you go from Unforgiven, where he hits that crazy RKO, and to end the match, to a match where this match is like a match like, why did this even take place? Like, Randy Orton already won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Definitively too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a match.
Indeed, it was. Recap of John Cena losing the title to Rob Van Dam at One Night Stand.
Yeah. With Edge interfering.
Yep. DX is at Spirit Squad's locker room door. Spirit Squad is refusing to come out in their new outfits. Triple H says that if they don't come out in their new outfits, they will be stripped of the tag team belts. They say they'll be out in a minute. Triple H, once the door is closed, said, "Those guys are so gay."
Which is funny.
And,
well, I'll talk about that in a second.
And Shawn Michaels adds, "Not that there's anything wrong with that," before we cut to commercial.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so this is a time frame.
Right? If they said that now, oh my god, WWE be sued by so many companies.
I mean, it's not as bad as Jerry Lawler calling Goldust a faggot.
Oh yeah, of course.
That happened.
That happened.
Yeah.
Times have changed. Goldust was booed because he was gay.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
But speaking of gay, is the Spirit Squad match next? Is it the next one?
It's not quite next. It's the next match. But before we get to the Spirit Squad's match, do not try what we are about to talk about at home, because these acts were done by professional criminals. Crime time.
Oh my god, yes, this. Oh my god, this was awful.
Cut to a 7-Eleven with a police officer walking out of the 7-Eleven with a donut and a coffee, as the announcer for this segment goes, "Look, Popo's a brother? He better not have sold out to the man."
This is so bad. This is so racist.
JTG and Shad walk up, asking the cop if they can have his coffee. The cop says no, because it's his coffee. JTG responds by slapping the coffee into his face as the announcer goes, "Crime Time decides this is the time to work on their speed."
Oh my God,
Shad grabs the cop's donut and they run away.
White people thought of this. White people. Old white people. This is so bad.
Yeah.
That's so racist.
Yep. JTG and Shad run away, and they jump a fence to escape the cop. But unlike in most things, the cop starts climbing the fence, only for JTG and Shad to realize where their dogs are at and turn around and run away because there's dogs in the yard that we can't see. The cop, though not in the yard and only barely over this small fence, suddenly gets a zoom in on his terrified face as we hear dogs barking. And we get an ad saying that we'll get another Crime Time segment next week. Part of me wants to go and find all of these now.
So we need to find them and upload them, so people can
just all back to back.
Yes, just so people can understand how bad they were.
Popo's a brother.
That was so bad. It's so racist. Oh my goodness. Anyways. That was terrible. Anyways, Spirit Squad.
Yeah. Cut to the Spirit Squad making their entrance, and they're all in female cheerleading outfits.
That's so embarrassing.
Isn't this hilarious?
There was someone with a sign that they cut to, and it said, "The Spirit Squad is more gayer than me." Which,
Well, you need to learn English, guy with sign.
Yeah.
It's either more gay or gayer. It's not both.
Is more gayer than me. That's what it said, more gayer than me. But it's funny, the head of the Westboro Baptist Church is in Topeka, in this city. So this guy better not be walking around with that.
He's got to be careful.
Hell, my grandparents live like a block away from the house.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun fact for everyone. Because I know everyone wants to know.
About the Westboro Baptist Church on the wrestling podcast.
Yes, everyone wants to know. Everyone wants to know about my childhood, okay? Everyone wants to know that every time I go to school, I would see them all outside with their, like, God hates you or something like that. I don't even know what they say.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it was lovely, and I had no idea what that meant at the time. But now I'm like, oh, okay. That's not good.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, this was just
that
was a sidebar. Can we just move on to this terrible match?
So, out of all the Spirit Squad members, it is Nikki who is going to be competing in this match.
Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. You just need to...
Nikki!
You have to wonder how Dolph Ziggler would respond to this picture, like, on his Twitter nowadays. Just like, hey, Dolph, remember this picture of him in the female cheerleading outfit. See what he would do in response to that.
He'd probably be like, that's my normal night out.
Yeah. Anyway, Nikki's opponent is Sergeant Slaughter, who does not get much of a reaction from the crowd.
No.
Yeah. So the match starts, and Nikki throws a clothesline at Sergeant Slaughter, who ducks it and locks Nikki in a Cobra Clutch. To the surprise of all, that's not just the end of the match. and Nikki gets the ropes. Upon getting to the ropes, Sergeant Slaughter spanks him.
Oh my god, what the fuck is this wrestling?
Sergeant Slaughter goes to Irish whip Nikki into the corner, but Nikki counters and Irish whips Sergeant Slaughter instead, sending him tumbling over the top rope to the floor, where Spirit Squad swarm in and begin stomping him repeatedly. They throw him back into the ring, and Dolph hits what Ty Dillinger used to use as his finisher in NXT, the facebuster into the knee. I believe he called it the Perfect 10 in NXT. I could be wrong.
I thought he did that. He did that recently at Backlash.
That move?
Yeah.
The facebuster in the knee. Backlash. Oh well.
Well, he faced Aiden English. So
Oh no, how he wanted Takeover. It's not the same move. It's more like the Code Breaker where he would jump up, but he would do it sideways.
Oh, okay.
I guess is the best way of putting it. It's a jumping facebuster.
I
do know what you're referring to with the tiebreaker.
No, I don't remember this match.
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
As soon as Nikki hits this, he locks Sergeant Slaughter into a sleeper hold, only for Triple H to pop up on the Titantron, saying that Nikki's forgotten part of his outfit, while holding up a pair of panties. Nikki is incredibly upset about this, and he lets go of Sergeant Slaughter to yell at the screen, allowing Sergeant Slaughter to roll him up for a 3 count.
So he's gonna get a sledgehammer, right? Like
probably. I would guess.
He didn't obey the rules.
Yeah. I would guess. And Sergeant Slaughter rolls him up for 3 in 3 minutes and 3 seconds. This felt 5 times longer.
I wanted it to end so bad.
Yeah. And just a reminder, these are your World Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, and they're being embarrassed by Triple H every week.
Yep. Cut to a recap of the triple threat match from the July 3rd, 2006 edition of Raw, where Edge won the WWE Championship.
Where after RVD was found the drugs.
Yep. Which is how I remember the date.
Yeah.
Cut back to the ring where Lillian Garcia announces that the next match is the first round for the vacant Women's Championship, and as informed by DX, both women will be competing in lingerie.
God, it's just so... the times have changed,
The
man.
crowd cheers.
The times have changed. Like, back then they were just made to look sexy. Now they're there to actually wrestle. It's kind of great. Times are good now.
So, it's Mickie James versus Victoria. Both of which are actually women who can wrestle.
Yeah. Which is sad.
Yep. I don't know if Mickie could back then, because I know she hadn't been wrestling for very long.
She was the women's champion at that point. She faced Trish a bunch of times.
Yeah, and Mickie James was the one who would go on to win the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Well, no, Lita would win the tournament, but then Mickie James would beat her in the rematch. But it was Lita versus Mickie at Cyber Sunday, and then Lita versus Mickie at Survivor Series. Victoria takes control after driving Mickey's face into her knee. Mickie James tries to do a Hurricane Rana. She lands on her neck. And then Victoria slowly pulls her up and puts her in a Boston Crab. Mickie is able to roll out of the Boston Crab, but Victoria throws her out of the ring. Right after being thrown out of the ring, Mickie James goes up to the top rope and jumps over Victoria in a flipping motion. Victoria then backs up about 2 feet so Mickie James can grab her.
Yeah, that was funny. I was like, oh, bunch.
Yeah.
There's a botch.
Yeah. Victoria then is struggling to not be pulled down by Mickie James with all of her momentum of her arms coming off the ground, I guess. Victoria gets the ingenious idea to sit down to pin Mickie James, so she does. However, instead of just sitting down to pin her, she grabs the ropes as well, so the referee does not count 3 because he sees her grabbing the ropes. Victoria lets go of the ropes, which allows Mickie James to roll her through the rest of the way in the roll-up and get the 3 count in 2 minutes and 49 seconds.
What a match.
Yeah. To their credit, they pretty much just ignored the lingerie thing. There wasn't any, spinning moves or anything like that. Nothing really played off the fact they were in lingerie.
Which, to the crowd's disappointment, probably.
Yeah. So, Mickie James is celebrating, and Victoria throws a chair because she's upset she lost. Cut to an ad for Eric Bischoff's autobiography, Controversy Creates Cash. Cut backstage to Eric Bischoff talking with Chris Masters about his book, Controversy Creates Cash. DX walks in, asking if Eric Bischoff is plugging his new book, Controversy Creates Cash. He says that he is. DX asks if they're in the book. Eric Bischoff reveals that they are, but that he only wrote them in because he felt that at the time they were a ripoff of the NWO. So I figure this is a good time to bring it up. Do you think DX is a ripoff of the NWO?
No, they're better.
That's a bold statement there.
I mean, I don't know. The NWO got stale really quickly, I feel. And I don't know.
Oh, well.
Granted, I'm pretty biased.
Ah.
So I am pretty biased. So I mean, you shouldn't take my words pretty, take with a grain of salt.
Okay.
And because I just haven't watched a lot of NWO. I mean, I've seen a lot of it, but I didn't grow up in that.
Okay.
And I grew up in this DX.
Yep. So Eric Bischoff walks off, thanking them for plugging his book. Triple H asks Chris Masters if he's going to write a book. Chris Masters says he was thinking about writing a nutritional book. To which Triple H responds, "What are you going to call it? How to Lose 50 Pounds in 4 Weeks?" This is one of the most infamous lines Triple H has said. Ever. And I did not know it was from this show.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Triple H had, Chris Masters had been put in rehab due to a problem with painkillers. And his rehab training regimen was intense enough to the point that he'd lost a significant amount of muscle mass by the time he came back.
Wow.
This was a jab at that.
That's funny.
Yeah. Masters is incredibly upset about this, and he storms off. Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit understandable.
Yeah. Cut to a recap of Unforgiven. We're skipping SummerSlam tonight. It's not important to see the one-time Edge beat John Cena one-on-one in the build-up to this. That's not needed.
No. Well, he didn't win the title then.
He retained it
so.
at SummerSlam.
Yeah, but then Cena won the title, so they show how Cena got back his title.
Yeah.
And because they only had one more commercial break to show. Although I don't really even feel like they needed to show the ECW one.
The one-night stand?
Yeah.
Yeah, one-night stand felt a little unnecessary to me.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but, show SummerSlam more.
Yeah.
Then we have the main event.
Yep. It's time for John Cena versus Edge in a steel cage.
The match that builds the whole show.
Yep. The crowd is firmly behind John Cena my surprise.
Yeah,
watching
pro
this
Cena
show.
crown. I mean, it kind of gotten to the point where people, it was 50-50, but it was a lot more pro Cena than it was.
I'm not used to this.
It's still, no, yeah, it's still be 50-50 at this point, but it wasn't full on the 50-50. It was still a lot more towards Cena. It was really after that, his long reign, because this was still his time when he was champion, because he didn't lose that title till he got injured.
A year after this,
I think. Yeah. So right after that year, it was like, okay, fuck this guy, Cena. Like, that's when it became 50-50, I feel.
So I'm just looking through this here because I do want to make sure the information I pull up here is correct. So Edge starts off the match immediately trying to go for Cena's arm, which was injured during an attack by King Booker, Finlay, and someone else I can't remember right now, the previous week on Raw, when they just attacked his arm following Cena's match with Lita.
Was it Big Show?
I think, yeah, it was Big Show, okay.
Yeah. Remember them showing the replay of it.
Yeah. So Cena's arm is in a cast. Well, not quite a cast. It's wrapped up heavily, though.
By the way, about a month ago, I found my old Cena shirt. It was the same exact shirt that he's wearing. Fun fact.
Huh.
I guess, if it's a fun fact. But he walked out with it on. I was like, oh yeah, that shirt. And I found it. Anyways, I'm just giving out random information about shit now. So.
Well, you have a lot of memories with this show. It's connected to your life.
I have a lot of memories of the show with this time in WWE. So yeah.
So Cena and Edge, they start off their match. Edge tries to go for Cena's hurt arm, but Cena quickly takes control and even manages to hit Edge with a suplex in spite of his injured arm. He goes
injured enough to the point that it hurts, but he can still do stuff.
Yeah.
Which is weird how that works.
Yep. He grabs his arm afterwards, so. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as you grab it afterwards.
Yeah.
You can do a tope if you have a broken leg, but as long as you grab it afterwards. Hell, that's what they do now, so I'm not saying.
Edge is able to take control of the match, though, after Cena sends him off the ropes for a back body drop, but Edge kicks him in the arm. Edge takes Cena down. Edge tries to leave out the cage door, but Cena stops him with a back suplex. Edge just tries to run away from Cena by climbing up the side. Cena slams him off the top rope. John Cena comes charging into Edge, who dodges it, and Cena runs his own injured arm into the cage. You would think you wouldn't charge injured arm first, you would charge something else first, but okay.
No, injured arm.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already messed up that arm, why not mess it up even more? Don't mess up the other one. At least have one good one.
This allows Edge to take control of the match and hit the Execution Implant DDT.
I love that DDT. It's so great.
Cena quickly manages to fight back and hits his leap over face buster, where he just jumps over someone and grabs them like a cutter.
Yeah, does he do that?
He hasn't done that in years.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he has not done that move in a while.
Yeah.
Granted, he's done a lot more moves.
Yeah.
So.
Cena tries climbing out of the cage, but Edge pulls his legs out, and Cena falls with his bad arm landing on the top rope.
Yeah.
Edge then spears John Cena into the cage wall. Edge takes this opportunity to... Yep.
You think that would get the 3, the spear?
Into a cage wall.
Yeah. I don't know.
But he doesn't go for the pin.
They build up the cage wall? No. I mean, they build up the cage wall as being, this deadly object.
Yeah. He doesn't go for the pin though. He just tries to escape. Cena stops him from escaping out of the cage with an avalanche bulldog off the top rope. Cut to commercial as both men are down. Cut back from commercial, and Edge has a crossface locked in on John Cena. We don't really learn how Edge gained control during commercial break.
They never showed a replay.
Yeah. But Edge has got Cena locked into a crossface, which Cena fights out of with a belly-to-belly suplex, Bailey style.
I actually thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, Bailey to belly. I'm like, wait a minute, that's just a belly to belly.
Yeah, that's the normal move.
I don't need to call it Bailey to belly,
Yeah. Cena goes for a shoulder block afterwards to start his 5 moves of doom combo, but Edge counters it with a spinning heel kick.
Oh my god, the 5 moves of doom.
Yep.
Still has them.
Edge throws Cena arm first into the cage wall. Edge tries to climb, but Cena meets him at the top of the cage where they exchange punches. Edge
That'd be so scary as a wrestler.
Yeah.
I'd just be afraid I would fall and shit and die. Because one mess up, man, you're done.
Edge rakes John Cena's eyes, but Cena doesn't fall back into the cage. He catches himself on the ropes. And then he catches Edge to keep him from leaving. So he pulls Edge back into the ring, and then Edge hits John Cena with a back suplex off the top rope.
Which was sick.
Yep.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah. This only gets Edge a 2 count.
Hey, kicking out of big moves.
Yeah.
Indie wrestlers. Do a dive, will ya?
Edge tries to climb out of the cage, but Cena pulls his leg out, and Edge lands on his groin on the top rope. Cena bounces the rope.
What a terrible human being Cena is.
As soon as he's done bouncing the rope, Cena starts his comeback with the 5 moves of doom, complete with 5 knuckle shuffle, and attempted FU, but Edge is able to reverse the FU due to there being a cage wall to grab onto.
One thing I did like though before he started it was that he threw him into the cage and then bounced off and then did his shoulder blocks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that little thing was cool. It stuck out in my head.
Yeah. Definitely. John Cena, after being countered by Edge is trying to get away again by climbing the ropes. Cena climbs the ropes to stop him and goes to hold him up for the FU off the top rope, and the crowd's going crazy because we've never seen this before. Edge slips out of it though, denying this from ever happening, and has Cena in an electric chair position. John Cena slips out of the electric chair position and lifts Edge up for a normal FU. Edge, though, fights his way out of the FU and hits John Cena with the Edge-O-Matic, which is the sit out to the back of the head.
I'm trying to think when was the first time we saw the the Avalanche AA. I think it was against Bobby Lashley.
I believe so as well.
And that's when he actually won. I remember the first time seeing that, I was like, "Oh my god, that's awesome!"
Yeah.
Now it's like AJ Styles kicks out of it twice.
Kevin Owens kicked out of it too.
Kevin Owens is in it too. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, at least with the AJ Styles one, they the match before.
AJ Styles won afterwards.
Yeah. Or the match before the SummerSlam one, Cena hit it and he won the match off it, and he was going for it throughout the whole match because he knew he would win.
Yeah.
And then AJ Styles actually kicked out. It was actually good storytelling.
Yeah.
Which is impressive.
Following the Edge-O-Matic, Edge tries desperately to crawl out of the cage door. Cena stops him though by grabbing his leg, and Edge, still trying to throw him out, calls over to Lita, who throws a steel chair into the ring. The referee, seeing Lita throw a steel chair into the ring in this no disqualification match, ejects Lita from ringside.
I thought the same thing. It's a no DQ match. What are you doing? It's no DQ. That made no sense. Oh my.
Edge is in shock that Lita was forced to leave. But this leads into a back and forth sequence between Edge and Cena, where Cena puts Edge on the top rope, Edge kicks him away, and goes for a diving clothesline, only for Cena to duck it and Edge to take out the referee in a no DQ match.
And that makes no sense.
Yeah. And Edge, after taking out the referee, sees the steel chair and picks it up.
Actually, it did make sense for what's going to happen next.
It did make. Okay. There's a referee outside the ring as well. There's 2 referees.
Yeah. But you can't get the door open.
Yeah. Edge grabs the steel chair and goes to swing it at John Cena, who ducks it, picks it up, and then hits Edge in the head with the chair.
Yeah. Cena hitting people in the head with chairs.
Yep.
It's awkward to watch. That was an awkward chair shot.
Yep.
It was awkward for him to swing that chair.
Yep. Cena then locks Edge into the STFU, but there's no referee to analyze a tap out or observe the obvious fact that Edge is currently unconscious.
Which made sense, even though the ref was outside. Probably could have done it from the outside, but he couldn't get in. Oh no.
Yeah.
It took him 20 years.
Yeah. Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch decide to interfere in this match.
For some reason.
Yeah, for some reason. Nothing came out of this.
No.
It was just Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch interfering in a cage match.
It was just, if it was like Finley and like the guys that beat up Cena the week before, it'd make sense. Yeah. But no.
The announcers tried to say Edge may have paid Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch. Okay, sure.
Sure.
Why did it take them so long to show up?
Right.
But they get in the ring, they break up this STF, and then they hit the clothesline chop block combination poorly on Cena, because the chop block is like a whole 2 seconds after the clothesline.
That's how I thought.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
So Cena is out, and Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch begin dragging the unconscious Edge out of the cage door. But here comes DX. Save the day. Triple H grabs Trevor Murdoch, throws him into the side of the cage. Shawn Michaels beats up Triple H grabs Lance Cade, throws him into the side of the cage. Shawn Michaels I can't say Lance Cade and steel cage back to back. Triple H grabs Lance Cade, throws him into the cage. Shawn Michaels is beating up Trevor Murdoch and is ready to hit him with sweet chin music. Edge, meanwhile, has realized Triple H is there, and he's in shock that Triple H is there.
Which I liked, because right after this they had the RKO, rated RKO, and DX feud.
This is what led into that feud, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a good, hinting towards that.
Yep.
That feud.
Shawn Michaels, while Edge is busy staring at Triple H, super kicks Trevor Murdoch, who goes into the cage door, slamming it on Edge's face.
I like that.
Yeah. This knocks Edge backwards, allowing Cena to pick him up and hit him with the FU to get the really, really slow 3 count from the referee.
He's injured.
Yeah.
He's groggy.
So Cena picks up the win, and in comparison to everything else, a marathon effort in 16 minutes and 47 seconds. TV time.
It was a good match.
Yep.
I enjoyed it.
Oh.
And it has a good fond memory in my heart. Yep. So, yeah.
As I detailed, it is a good match. John Cena celebrates. Side note here, as he's celebrating, he goes out, and there's a Marine he starts hanging out with. As someone who's played all of the WWE video games, the only thought I can think is that particular Marine looks a lot like Tony from John Cena's Road to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Which is one of the unlockable characters in, I believe, 2009.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But this match felt like a main event match. I mean, they built it throughout the whole match.
Yep.
Or the whole show, excuse me. And it actually felt like a main event. So, yeah.
Indeed it did. And with that match, Edge goes to 0-4 on this podcast.
So he's our losing champion.
Yeah.
We got to pick a show where he loses.
Just the thing, keep the Edge losing streak alive.
Yes, of course. If one of us accidentally picks it, we get banned off the show and we get replaced.
Oh dear. Oh well.
That's the shows.
Yep, those are both of the shows. And normally this would be the part where I announce what I picked or you picked for the next show. However, on the previous episode, I made the decision that I would let the audience choose what we watched next.
Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me?
This wasn't my decision.
Why do they hate me? What did I do to them?
I don't know what you did to them. Maybe they just want people to talk about this. Maybe there's something good that's not appreciated.
There's something wrong with them. There's something wrong
Look,
with them.
if you're not excited for the Judy Bagwell on a pole match, there's something wrong with you. Next time we're talking about New Blood Rising 2000, our first WCW show.
Unfortunately. We couldn't pick a decent one.
There might be something good on there. I haven't seen it. I just know it for the Judy Bagwell on a pole match and the finish to the main event.
I'm just going to say this now. If it didn't come across clear, I'm not looking forward to this.
I know you're not looking forward to this, but I would like to go into this with an open mind. Try to see if there's anything positive out of this.
This is 2000 ECW.
WCW.
2000. Excuse me, yeah. WCWs. I'm so used to saying ECW.
This
WCW.
is World Championship Wrestling. You don't think we're going to get world-class quality from here?
Not in 2000 WCW. This is some of the worst wrestling and booking decisions and company decisions in the history of wrestling that came out of this era.
Just a few seconds here. I'm just going to pull up this card because I'm sure there's something good on this card. The show opens with a ladder match.
Yay. Watch it be the worst ladder match in the history of history.
I see you're incredibly optimistic. And the rest of it is present, I guess.
Is it present?
Is there. It's visible the rest of this show.
Oh, it's visible. Oh, good. Okay.
I was wrong about the main event finish, by the way. It's the second to last match I know the finish of.
Oh, I know absolutely nothing, and I don't want to know anything until I watch it because I want to be surprised.
Oh, good.
So, yeah.
The second to last match is quite infamous in its own right, just for how it ends.
Yay.
So you can look forward to that.
Yay.
Look,
I'm so excited.
Look, there's a certain joy to watching bad wrestling.
Yes, of course, but not 2000 WCW.
Well, that's what we're watching next time. New Blood Rising 2000. The only New Blood Rising.
For a reason.
Yep. I'm not looking forward to it. You're not looking forward to it. Which means we are looking forward to it in a morbid sense. At least I am.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hope that there's plenty of humor to be had watching it, at the very least.
Listen, people, if you're listening to this, I will pick something good for the next show, so we don't have to suffer for too long.
Oh no, part of me wants like just a set of bad shows back to back. Just to see how far this goes.
Do that. I mean, we can do that.
I mean, it's your pick. It's your pick. You do whatever you want next time.
You're right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so this has been our longest podcast by far.
Oh my goodness. This went longer than I ever thought it would.
Yeah.
Over 2 TV shows.
Yeah, over 2 television episodes.
That's longer than any pay-per-view we've done, I think, maybe.
It comes out to about 40 minutes longer than a pay-per-view.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
There you go.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next time when we talk about New Blood Rising on the Pretentious podcast.
I cannot wait for New Blood Rising.